Welcome to Health and Wellness Wednesday. I'm so glad that you're here. Thanks for joining us this evening. We've got the Ask Dr. Jenny show, and we're going to be talking about CBDs tonight. We're going to be talking about the role that they play, but we're going to talk about stress, anxiety, probably a lot of other stuff as well. We're going to be talking about your health. We're going to be talking about the wellness, and we are celebrating Men's Awareness Month. June is Men's Awareness Month, so we're excited to talk about men's health, well as women's health too, because everybody's health is important to us. But we've got a great show for you tonight. This is an informative show. I want you to share this video out to your friends, to the groups that you belong to. Hit that love button. Oh, well, just tap the love button. don't break the phone or anything, but tap the love button, share it on out. We're taking questions and comments. We'll bring you up on the screen. You can ask Dr. Jenny your questions that are related to what we're talking about tonight. We'd love to help you. We've got some exciting news too, so we'll be sharing that as well. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that took time to come and join us this evening. Without further ado, I'd love to bring Dr. Jenny Wilkins into the studio.
I'm
Welcome.
backstage.
You were backstage. Now,
We're backstage. Oh my gosh, it's so messy in here.
love it. Love these virtual green rooms. It's pretty awesome.
Yes,
And so I just want to say, hey, how are you doing today?
I'm really good. Stephen, I'm trying to find it because I always have my phone up so I
Yeah.
can talk to everybody, and I don't see it on the LWN page.
Go figure that, right? Um,
So I want to make sure that we're live and that our
oh my
viewers can see
goodness.
us.
I'm thinking I might have to edit this. Oh my goodness. I'm only going to my page and then the website. I'm going to YouTube. Okay, this is interesting. So Stephen didn't pay attention, so bear with me, folks. Okay, I've just got to make an adjustment here. Let me just edit this really quick and try and get this solved. Um, why did that happen? So there we go. I'll just save that. Okay. I think that now we might be on track. Um, all right. You know, if it can, it will sometimes. So now we are actually on LWN. How's about that? All right.
All right.
LWN is live now. I'm seeing the notification. Thank goodness. Okay. All right. We got this sorted out now. I believe we're in good shape. So we're talking about CBD. I'll just repeat myself. Um, I hope I didn't just cut somebody out of there by doing what I just did because I took it off the website. Or no, I took it off of YouTube.
Mhm.
But anyways, we're streaming live to YouTube as well. Let me just try and multitask here and put up a banner because you are watching the LWN Live with Nature Foundation
There it is.
live streaming network, and we appreciate you. And today is Health and Wellness Wednesday, and we are watching the Ask Dr. Jenny show. Okay, so now I'm doing better.
I'm so glad I saw that because I'm like, where are our viewers? I'm
I'm
normally
glad.
saying hi, everybody.
I know. Sorry, everybody. I made a
No
mistake. I
worries.
did not. I put the wrong channel on here. I can
Mhm.
stream to multiple channels, which we are. We're streaming to YouTube. We're streaming to my live YouTube channel, the LWN,
Mhm.
through our website, by the way, folks. And so, as soon as I can find it here, I'm going to put this up. You can watch it on YouTube. You just have to go to our website, www.lwn.org. Click on that live stream tab at the top of the page, and that'll take you right to YouTube. We'd love for you to subscribe as well. Um, so, now, let me just do this again. How are you doing
Mhm.
today, Dr. Jenny? Tell us, right?
I'm good. Happy hump day. I always have
Yeah,
to say that. I feel like it's hump day.
it is.
We're
It
talk we're
is.
we're not talking about sex tonight, right? We're talking about CBD.
We are talking about CBDs. Maybe someone will ask us
I'll
about, well,
transition in there. I always have to
okay,
put that in there. You know I
okay.
do.
That's fair enough.
Someone
That's
just messaged me privately. They're like, "Is this the sex show?"
it's just a sex show.
They
Well,
remembered
God,
the
I
sexual
just
health one. I was like, well, CBD does help with sex.
right, well, shoot, I'm open to learn, and I have an open mind, and it always seems like we can talk about sex because CBD can certainly help your sex life too as well. I'm
Yes,
sure that
because it
that's a
gives you the
part of it.
energy that you need so you could have a happy hump day.
Okay, happy hump day. Okay, love it. Awesome.
Oh,
Okay,
I
so
took
we
too
are
much
talking.
CBD today.
So we are talking about CBDs and the roles that it plays. And these days there's a lot of reasons to be stressed out. There's a lot of reason for us to have anxiety, stress. Um, it depends on. Well, I hope you're not watching too much news because that'll bring it on. That'll bring it on hot and heavy. I try and stay away from the news myself, just because I just don't want to get dragged into the sadness there.
It's
Now, I'm not
tough.
trying. Yeah, it is tough.
It is. You want to turn it off, or you want to throw something at your screen, and you're like, "What's going on with this world? Why? Why,
Well, what
God?"
what I've tried to do, not to get off topic here, but I just really have tried to be positive. I tried to look for the
Hmm.
positive things. I mean, this has really helped us with health and wellness, right? People are
That's the
being more
goal.
aware. Yeah.
Let's spread some more positivity and light by
Yes, let's
balancing out chemicals, by
exactly.
good intentions,
Hmm.
thoughtfulness is huge.
Well,
Being kind.
we're
Hmm.
talking health
I love you.
from mind, body, and spirit aspect. So it's all important. Okay. So we've talked about CBD before. Um, it's what it's legal now. CBD in all 50 states.
So in all
It's
50 states, yeah.
yeah, and
And
it's
non-psychoactive chemical
right.
in the cannabis plant. So there's still some
Well,
stigma out there.
yeah, now just tell us, let's start at the bottom here, okay? So CBD is part of the marijuana plant apparently,
Yep.
but it's a different derivative. So maybe you'll clear us up and educate us about what's the difference between, because there is a difference between marijuana and CBD and THC, because THC is the psychoactive part of it. Tell us about this and educate us, Dr. Jenny.
So CBD, yeah, and THC, that's what everybody knows if they've heard of cannabis. And I don't even like the word marijuana. I think it makes it sound too cartel, too street, right?
Uh, okay, that
So
sounds good.
the medical word is cannabis. Cannabis, it can be used for industrial purposes. There are over 50,000 uses for the cannabis plant, not just for medicinal purposes, but the cannabis plant is a power fruit. It's a power plant, just like you have power fruit, power produce, right? And other power plants as well. You have spinach and kale. Bok chow, is a power plant, vegetable, I should say. It should be considered a vegetable. You really could make a cannabis salad. And
That's
yeah,
right.
and when you eat it in that way, believe it or not, you don't get that high because your body's having to break it down on its own. And when
Does
you're
it?
eating, yeah, you're absorbing 20%. Your body is synthesizing, it breaks everything down. You have all those enzymes, all of the different acids, organic acids that go in there and break down your foods. There are some people that make cannabis salads. I knew one of the chefs from the Cooking Network that I did a segment with in Miami. And we did a segment cooking with cannabis. And we put tomatoes and onions and cucumbers in that salad with some balsamic vinaigrette. Oh, it's delicious.
Mm,
I
it
didn't get
sounds.
high, but I felt energized. I felt fueled. And
Does
CBD
C?
is only one of 110 uh, successfully researched cannabinoids that are in the plants. There's 110 of them that we know of. There's probably more. I mean, like I said, it's a power vegetable. CBD is the non-psychoactive chemical in the cannabis plant. And it is the one cannabinoid that everybody needs. Everybody is deficient in CBD. Cats, dogs, ferrets, bunnies. If it has breath, if it has life, it is deficient in CBD. See, the endocannabinoid system is in a sea urchin. The endocannabinoid system is what it's called, that's in our body. And that system is what regulates those cannabinoids. Just like, for example, the endocrine system, right? You have the endocrine system that regulates hormones. So just like that, we have the endocannabinoid system that regulates the cannabinoids. And all of these cannabinoids have a function in our body. Functions to help with motor skills, functions to help with anti-aging, functions to help with oxidative stress, functions to help, with sedation or sleep, mood. I mean, it's huge. This is what CBD is used all over the world currently for depression, for anxiety, for schizophrenia, for bipolar disorder, for treating cancer, Dravet syndrome, Parkinson's disease, MS. You're talking about one chemical that can replace a bunch of pill bottles that Americans are taking that are in their cabinet that they don't need. They're not deficient in Prozac or Xanax or Valium or Trazodone. I just met with a client today that has a patient, a 96-year-old patient that's on 16 different medications, and all those medications are making her feel drunk and lethargic. She's not communicating. It's like she's 96 years old. Why are you putting 96-year-old on Trazodone?
Right.
You gotta help her with her memory. Help her with her. Don't just drug her down. And it's like we're trying to dumb society down with these drugs. I think that's Big Pharma's intention is to make us more not present, right? And then we have a longer list of side effects that come with all of those toxic chemicals. And CBD helps with neurogenesis. Cannabinoids in general helps to replenish brain cells. Neurogenesis is talking about curing Alzheimer's disease or dementia.
Yeah. See, that's the beautiful part of it. It does so much in so many different ways. Now, what is the difference then between this THC and the CBD? Because you're not getting high, right?
Right. I mean, CBD is non-psychoactive, meaning you're not going to have the body high that THC gives. And there's nothing wrong with having that body high, because a little bit of THC is great. I actually prefer a small amount of THC over drinking alcohol. Alcohol is a poison, but with the THC, you don't have that hangover. You don't have the migraine or the headache or the dehydrative feelings or that, the next day we're like, oh my gosh, I have no energy, and you're dragging when you're drinking, right? You have 3 cocktails, my gosh, the next day you feel it. With the cannabis, you don't. When people are smoking the cannabis,
I don't feel it anymore, Dr. Jenny. That's a beautiful part of it. It's the lovely thing to be able to wake up and feel sober. I'll tell you. Now,
yes,
I do want to. I do want to go. This is an interactive broadcast, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you putting in comments. We are taking questions. I'm going to go right now. I'm going to address some of the comments. I'll just go through the hellos right first. Randy says hello to us.
Hi, Randy.
Christina Scullin is with us as well. Robert Brooker from Ontario, up in Toronto. Thank you so very much for joining us. We appreciate you, Robert. I'm glad that you joined us. I know that you probably have some good stuff to tell us about. All right. And we have, I know that I saw Ruben Lowing. He's on station. Here he is. Ruben, thank you for joining us. Maria Draskin. Maria, thank you for joining us this evening. She turned off the news. That's awesome. And tuned into us. We love that. It's going to be a lot happier here than it is on that news broadcast. I promise you. Richard Fay is with us. He says something about skunk cannabis, lots of varieties of cannabis. And now he's talking about, I think, the THC
just like
brand.
There's lots of varieties of wine, lots of varieties of alcohol, right? So wine is medicinal too. You can have medicinal properties in wine.
Well, don't they say that wine is good for red wine?
Red wine.
With the
antioxidant.
Tannins, is that correct? Yeah.
That's
antioxidant.
Correct.
Antioxidant, go figure.
Just skunk cannabis. Believe it or not all cannabis smells like skunk. I mean, each cannabis depends on how you're growing it and where you're growing it. It makes a big difference because you have the terpene profile, and the terpenes are like melanin on our skin. You know, that's a terpene, a terpene that's on the human body. So plants have a protective mechanism too. And those terpenes give it its aroma. Those terpenes, some cannabis smells like fruits. Some cannabis smells, you know, more earthy, and some smells like skunk. With a skunk type of cannabis is more THC dominant and is considered an indica. So indica, indibed is how I remember it. So if you want something that makes you tired and become a couch potato, smoke or vape, or, you know, oral, there's edibles too.
We're talking about stuff with THC right now, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's that's it. And some of my oils, my CBD oils, have some THC in it too. The maximum amount that is allowed legally for over the counter is 0.3%.
Okay, now I want to ask you about that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 0.3% that you can have in it, and we'll talk about this in a minute. How that really is called full strain, as I recall, and that it does a lot more than just the CBD, but it doesn't necessarily get you high. Is that a state legal limit, or is that like a
That's federal?
or it is federal? Okay, so across the board, no matter what state you're in, it is legal. Would that be you think that's correct?
That is
Or
correct.
can, I guess, maybe states and even towns can make their own laws and maybe make it illegal. I assume that's part of it too as well.
Yeah, they would get a whole uprising because the cannabis user now, I mean, they protest very, very peacefully, I would say. And they go and they wind up at the town hall meetings, and and then they're all over the news. So
let's go to, I do want to go to some questions because it is interactive. I don't want you all to feel left out here. Now, Christina's saying about CBD balm from a company called Native. Have you ever heard of that?
I'm not familiar with the company called Native, but if Christina, if you send me a picture of it, I can tell you if it's any good. Right. There are a lot of cannabis companies out there that don't really have the strength that it requires. I think that for a maintenance dose, children should take 10 milligrams a day, and adults should take at least a 20 milligram product of CBD. And then when you're talking medicinal dosing, so when you want therapeutic effect, meaning you're using it to replace a different medication. If you're using it to replace an opiate or a neuropsychiatric medication, you're going to start on the higher end at 40 milligrams. And depending on what your diagnosis is, then you can go up to, believe it or not, up to 200 milligrams a day.
I got to put this up. I'm sorry, folks. I'm laughing here. I'm reading some of these comments. It's like hilarious, right? Okay, so Ruben, we appreciate you very much, and thank you for your service to our country, by the way, Ruben. He is a veteran, and he says he's getting the munchies just listening to this show. It's like, okay, welcome. And Robert Brooker, I love him. He's always got something great to say. He says that word cannabinoids. He says when he hears it, he thinks of a monster from Sesame Street singing that song he always sang. It's like, okay, all right, okay. So now, if you see some questions here, I want you to mention it, and I'll pull it on up here.
I like this, Rob. He's funny.
Rob is a good guy. We're Robert.
Yeah.
I tell you, he's pretty funny guy.
I've seen some really good comments here.
Okay, we'll keep you going here, Robert.
My brother's ex-wife used to make pop brownies. Those were so good. Far too dangerous. Yes, they're dangerous. So you have to know. I'm of the mindset of when you're making edibles, to make them mild. That way you can indulge more, as opposed to one bite and then you're kind of paralyzed on the floor. This happened. This is a true story. My ex-husband ate a gummy that I had made, and I can't believe I'm going to tell this story. If he ever sees it, he'll be like, he told I was trying to kill him. I was like, no one's ever died of overdosing on pot. You pass out, people die of alcohol, but what happens is just he couldn't move his legs, he couldn't move. And he's like, I was thinking about going to the bathroom, and instead it's like, nope, maybe I can call for my wife and she can put a diaper on me and I don't have to get up. But yeah, no, if you take too much, you have to use, just like everything, you have.
You're freezing up there. Something's going on with their signal there, Dr. Jenny. Hopefully it straightens up here quickly. I was going to ask her a question here too. She's locked up. Maybe she needs to just restart, is what I'm thinking. So I'll carry on until she comes back. I tell you, I'm just going to give you my testimony now because I know Dr. Jenny and I started seeing her several months ago. I've been starting to take CBD. I was using the just straight CBD, no THC in it at all. And because I suffer from back pain myself personally. Well, the back pain can certainly bring on the stress. I mean, I wake up every morning hurting. I did a good job at beating myself up over my life. And as a result, I have degenerative disc disease. And, generally, I mean, I've learned to deal with pain, certainly. I know that back in the day, I'd certainly drink. That would be part of it. But that really just, I think, made it worse. So we're just waiting on Dr. Jenny. She's just going to go out, come on back in. And as soon as she's back here with us, I'll bring her back in. So I've been taking it, and it really helped. And I just want to tell this one story because I took it the other day. And I started taking the tincture. And so we have this tincture that she makes. And by the way, Dr. Jenny makes all of her own products. She actually is a pharmacist as well as a doctor, a naturopath. And she compounds. And she does that right here in Sarasota, Florida. She has a health and wellness center as well as a pharmacy right down here in downtown. And so she's been working at helping me get healthier. And so as a result, I decided, well, maybe I'll try what they call the full strain. And so I did. It's a CBD oil. And I found that I took some of that the other morning and I woke up with a bad headache. And then I took just one of the regular CBD tabs and it got rid of my headache. And it made me feel so much better. I was calmer. It definitely reduced stress. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight is how this actually works and how it reduces stress for you. I'm sharing my story because you know what? It works for me. And she's back here with us. Let's add her back on in. Oh, welcome.
It kicked me off.
Audio. Oh, there it is.
There
they
it is.
Kicked you off?
StreamYard. However you're streaming me, it just boop. All of a sudden, I couldn't see myself, and I had to go back and log in.
Something's going on because I told you before as we were talking before the show, the longest I've ever seen it take for my computer to get back up. Something's happening. I don't know. I know that there was a DDoS thing going on the other day, whatever. There's always somebody that try and make things difficult on others, I suppose. So I was telling them, just sharing the story about how I kind of switched up from using just the straight CBD to the tincture and how I'd gotten rid of a headache. And of course, the pain. What I want you to talk about is how CBD helps us with stress, specifically with stress, which also really relates to the anxieties part of it too. Say someone like, I see Richard Fay is in the audience. Thanks for joining us, Richard. How does it help someone like Richard Fay that deals with anxiety attacks? How is it going to help him?
Well, CBD works on the CB1 receptor and the CB2 receptor, meaning it activates. Those are where the receptor sites are for modulating cannabinoids. And it either works in your gut, where you find your immune system, and your gut has a direct correlation with the brain. So both are important. And CBD helps with that human microbiome because all of that good bacteria in your stomach has an endocannabinoid system too. So when you're taking in and consuming CBD, you're feeding the good bacteria that is required to manufacture. That's what they do. That good bacteria manufactures B12 in your gut, and B12 helps with anxiety, helps with depression, helps with mood disorders, helps with anemia. I mean, there's many different benefits. So now you see how essential this one chemical is just in the gut for the good bacteria. I make a rapid dissolving tablet. I don't know, Stephen, if you ever tried those rapid dissolving tablets.
Yeah, CBD 40 is what I was using.
Yep, the 40 milligrams we make up to 80 milligram, depending on, somebody. I'll make 10 milligrams, 20 milligrams for children. What a great replacement for Adderall and Zyprexa and Concerta and Vyvanse, all of these medications, Ritalin, children, adults with attention deficit disorder. And what a great replacement. Now you're replacing a drug that is similar to meth. It's the mirror image of it. I think we discussed this on another segment. And now you're taking something that the body actually is deficient in and needs. So the child or the adult is able to focus, because what it does is it gets those chemical spark plugs going in your brain neurologically to make those connections. I mean, it is like a air traffic control up there, right? And when things don't start to, if things aren't being regulated up there, just like air traffic, and what happens? Those planes would crash, and
exactly,
ground traffic control would be a mess if the stop signs were all red, right? If the stoplights were all red, or if the stoplights were all green. So there you have it. It's just a matter of regulating those receptor sites. And CBD helps you to regulate those receptor sites so that you're able to have the reins to control your environment.
The best way to find out what you should really be doing, though, is by doing, and we talked about, there's a couple different tests, but the saliva test really is the best one, as I recall you saying, because what the saliva test does is it's over a couple periods of time, so you get an average type of thing. Is this correct? So
that's for hormones.
That's just for the hormones. Okay.
Now there are some companies that are coming out with a cannabinoid test deficiency. That's the future right there. Being able to test to see how much cannabinoids you need, just like we test for cholesterol or testosterone or thyroid. That's going to be the future, to see exactly what cannabinoid you're deficient in. We're able to test for all the amino acids and organic acids and vitamins and minerals. So, and you like I said, everybody's deficient in CBD in some form or another. Once I add CBD to somebody's regimen, their medications work better. Their hormone therapy works better. They're absorbing their nutrition better. They're getting healthier. They're getting off of their medications. They have more energy. They start to sleep better. They have better sex, more powerful erections.
There's the sex. We knew we'd get around to sex. Absolutely. Got to do that. Who doesn't want a better sex life, right? I mean, come on.
Who doesn't want it? Makes the world go round.
Exactly. It makes the world go round.
I'm laughing at some of these comments. You guys are hysterical.
Yeah, there's just a great comments.
Thanks,
we really
Mona.
Appreciate that. Okay.
Have you? There's one from Oshin.
Which one?
Oshin is the last one.
Yeah,
I have used CBD oil before. Great to relax the body. Great show. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Oshin.
Yeah, he's local. As a matter of fact, we just made friends. He just lives up here in Bradenton. He's with IMG Academy.
IMG, yeah.
Yes, awesome, and we appreciate.
I've known Oshin for a while.
Oh, you have? Okay. So
yeah, if you need a good soccer player, that's the pro right there. That's who teaches all the pros.
Yes, that's the guy.
He's from Ireland.
He's from Ireland. Yes. Awesome. So great for you to join us this evening. We appreciate you very much. I guess you're making Richard Fay blush, though, Dr. Jenny, because you're talking about sex again. All right.
You have to. Remember Dr. Ruth, the really old sex doctor that was on TV, and she'd always have her dildos and her fake vaginas and all of that, and
I listened to her. I have to admit, I do. I did.
Someone told me that. They're like, "You're like Dr. Ruth, just cuter." I'm like, okay.
Oh,
It's like I'm
that's
so much
awesome.
more than just a cannabis and sex doctor, all right?
Yes, that
Hi,
was a
Dr.
great.
Azulai.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Absolutely.
Yes.
Um, okay, so let me just try and go through here.
I
There's
saw a
a
good
ton of
comment
great
somewhere.
comments. Okay, I got to put this one up because I know Robert. He's great. He'll make us laugh. And he thinks deeply about everything he does. So he's got a big one. Is covering us up. You got to get your. You want to read this one?
What is after the booze ran out and the rest been smoke?
The
Oh
booze.
no, we walked to what is McDonald's on the way back. My legs stopped working. They dragged me the rest of the way. Yeah, it hit because that's why you have to be careful, folks, when you're using cannabis and in the edible form. I mean, it takes 45 minutes for you to feel the effects when you're digesting it. Okay. You don't want to be driving when you're consuming an edible that's THC dominant because you can get into a car accident. It's like, yes, cannabis doesn't kill anybody, but if you're over the influence, okay, eventually they will have, I hope, a measurement that is universally, understood, and the DMV will tell you exactly how high is too high before you
So
can operate a vehicle,
like
right?
the alcohol content,
Yes.
yeah,
Hmm.
and we're not promoting, and please understand this, we are not promoting go out there and get high and drive your vehicle. I mean, we're trying to
Don't
talk
ever do
about
that. Don't do that.
that's
Experiment
no.
when even when you get your medical card, and we give out the medical cards here, and we see the patients here at Age Vital and give you the medical cards. $200 to get. It's like, why wouldn't you do it when it can replace so many different things? And you can gauge yourself when you're at your house. So I had a friend that never experienced cannabis in her life, and when she went to one of the dispensaries here, she was vaping in the car, and it hit her within 5 minutes, and she was driving. She got into a car wreck.
Yeah,
So we
it's
need to make sure that you're taking it responsibly. This is medicinal, yes, but you need to be responsible with it as well. Okay.
yes. And we really want to go back because we weren't talking necessarily about that as much as we were the CBD, which doesn't have those psychoactive chemicals in it, and that we're finding. Can you explain to us? Because I know that I initially learned about this. I was watching shows like I can't remember. I think it was Pot Wars or something or whatever, but they were up in Northern California, Mendocino County, and these guys that were growing, and this one guy that had developed, or I don't know what he developed. He just happened to be the guy on the show, but it was about CBD, and it was about
Hmm.
children that were having seizures, and how he had clients that were these children were having seizures, and it was helping them. Tell us how that works. So it clearly helps kids with conditions that can lead to a seizure. Tell us about that.
Yes. Yep. Because, like I said, it works on that CB1 receptor, all of those regions in the brain, and it's reprogramming that circuit, those electrical spark plugs that have been misfiring. And, it's just a matter of turning an on and off switch in your brain. And all those receptor sites have a lock and key mechanism. And those cannabinoids, THC and CBD, are really great for seizures. And I've seen personally lots of children that have come and just have used CBD, full spectrum CBD oil, meaning they had the maximum amount of THC, but other cannabinoids that are in there too. Their spasticity, their gait, their tremors disappeared. They go from having 15, seizures a day, Dravet syndrome, you're having a seizure every 10 minutes, and they're
Mm.
very, very violent. It's exhausting. Think of your entire body having a muscle spasm. Like, can you imagine, have you ever had that feeling, Stephen, on the bottom of your foot when you cramp up and your
Yeah.
foot gets so tight and it hurts so bad? Have you ever
Yes.
had? I only had that when I was pregnant, and I was screaming. I would wake up screaming, go, ah! Now imagine that on your entire body happening every 10 minutes, every 10 minutes, every 10 minutes.
Terrible.
Yeah,
Terrible.
it's terrible. There's
So
so many people having those the epilepsy and the seizures and CBD, these anti-seizure medications that big pharma pumps out. Though that's not the answer, because it's just a masking of the problem. It's a Band-Aid for a boo-boo, and that's not what you need. You need to get to the root cause, and that root cause is, one of the treatments is CBD and other
Okay.
cannabinoids. So it really helps. So if you're having seizures, if you know somebody that has Parkinson's disease, if they have MS, give them a full spectrum CBD product, full oil, have them take 50 milligrams, every 3 hours, and that will help them with their spasticity and their tremors, the shakes.
Apparently, you said it's Dr. Cynthia Azula.
Mm-hmm.
She says answer her questions, Dr. Jenny. I'm not seeing them. Is she sending you just direct message or something? I wonder. Now I did see Ruben,
Oh, I
and he
see
wants.
one. Is smoking cannabis healthy? I saw
Okay,
one.
thank you, thank you.
Mm-hmm. It's
There's so
going
many.
back.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's
There's
so
so
many
many. I
questions
see
in
so many.
there.
That's
It's
a
hard to
great
get.
question.
It is.
I don't recommend smoking in general. Smoking anything is bad for you because you're still inhaling it into your lungs. And bongs are a lot better. I can't believe I'm having these, conversations. If you have
Right.
a organic joint with a filter, that's going to be a lot better, right? But a more productive way and a more, I should say, evolved way, we have, like I said, edibles and capsules and chewables and rapid dissolving tablets and oils.
In the
Vaping
oil.
is so much better, right? As long as you have a closed loop vaping apparatus that doesn't overheat the oil, because that's you hear a lot in the industry, about the bad cartridges and some of the cartridges exploding and catching fire. And don't go cheap on that. Get a really good device, that can
Do you think there's
nebulize.
any issues with vaping or not?
No, because the cannabinoids are really good for your lungs. Some of
But what
the
about
people that I recommend it to have emphysema, or
I mean, is moisture going into your lungs?
is moisture going into your lungs? No, there's no
It's
there's no moisture, but you have the plant
There's
particle,
no
and that
moisture.
can
Okay.
irritate the back of your throat, and that can irritate your lungs. So anybody that just enjoys smoking a joint, right? Or I don't know what everybody calls it, a joint, right? Once in a
Yeah.
while, I
Maybe
always recommend that take some NAC. If
NAC.
you're a NAC is N-acetylcysteine, so it's a amino acid that helps protect your lungs and keeps the filters of your lungs nice and thick. So if you're smoking a joint, always get that product NAC, and it stops you from having that smoker's hack, because you will develop it eventually. One of my best friends actually developed the smoker's hack from smoking too many joints.
So yes, you want to be safe. We're not endorsing clearly smoking. That's not really the best way to do it. You've got gummies. You've got the oil. That's what I'm taking is the oil, the
Hmm.
tincture. And I
The
really
oil and the vapes,
I
nice clean
I might have to
cartridges.
try vape or something too.
Hmm.
I guess that's my next step. I started with the dissolving tablets and the tincture. I want to try it all so that I can actually, you know, learn what works best for me and try them out, and so that I can know, oh yeah, this works. And I can assure you it's done wonders, I think, for me. I can When I wake up, like I said earlier, in pain, like I do every single day, um, that's one of the first things that I do if I'm really in extreme pain. I'll tolerate a massive amount of pain, but if it's really hurting, I'll go ahead and do that oil, and literally that stuff takes effect super quick, by the way.
Hmm.
Super quick, it works. Now, I wanted to go to Ruben Loing's question. He says, so what does it do for knee pain? So isn't it, I'll put it back up. Ruben
Hmm.
is asking, what does it do for knee pain? Isn't that the
It helps with inflammation,
anti-inflammatory
anti-inflammatory
properties of it?
properties, analgesic properties. So better than lidocaine or ketamine or tramadol. I'm just going through what sorts of prescriptions I see in my pharmacy from pain doctors and orthopedic doctors, family medicine. So I see those scripts come in, and I always tell the patient to try the CBD oil first. I usually give them a sample, 1 ml, and then for them to try it through the course of the week. And they come back with only positive words with the CBD for joint pain, for osteoporotic pain, for rheumatoid arthritis pain, because it gets rid of that inflammation, that cytokine storm that occurs when your body is being bombarded by free radicals. And free radicals you get everywhere, right? When you put in
Right.
wear and tear on your body, you have to go in maintenance that wear and tear,
Not
just
that
like a
it's
highway.
not that it's really part of this show about CBD, but it's always about health and wellness, certainly. But that's where boosting the immune system comes in,
Mm-hmm.
and doing the glutathione like I did a week ago or so, right? And with
Mm-hmm.
the vitamin C drip, and taking vitamin C and the zinc and the probiotics and stuff to boost that immune system, certainly important there as well. Um,
Yes.
A- Alan Clark is asking us, what about workouts?
Yep, for workouts. And that's kind of like Neva, you're putting wear and tear. I always like to take a little bit of CBD oil. I take about 40 milligrams before a workout,
Hmm.
just because it's kind of loosening everything up and it's not so tight and it makes me more relaxed. And the more relaxed I am, the better my workouts are. So, yes, so it will help you recover post workout too. So, all of that lactic acid, because remember, even this a full spectrum CBD oil is going to have those amino acids in there that help feed your muscles. But when you're done working out the next day, if you worked out hard enough, you can't walk for a while because you're so sore. So the faster you recover, the faster you're going to build muscle. So that's a good one, Alan. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that with us, Alan. We appreciate that. Now, I know that really are stress and anxiety kind of related. Does anxiety bring on the stress, or is it the stress bring on the anxiety, or is it like one and the same, Dr. Jenny?
No, yep. So stress will bring on anxiety because then you start messing with your cortisol and you start messing with your thyroid. And that's really a deficiency. If you're starting to block your endocrine system because you're not, your cannabinoid system isn't being fed properly, it's going to affect, it's a domino effect with all the other systems in your body.
Hmm. Hmm.
So taking care of your stressors. And if you're living and breathing, you're going to have stress.
It happens,
Boyfriends,
exactly.
girlfriends, husbands, wives, children,
Jobs.
work,
Yep.
jobs, bosses. Everything is a stressor. Eating is a stressor, believe it or not.
I like to eat. That's,
But you're exuding energy when you're eating, right? So
yeah.
your body's going through stress. This is like, again, using that car
Uh,
analogy. You have the exhaust that comes out of your car. Eating is the same way. You are putting your body wearing and tearing it. So you have to constantly maintenance it. That's why we have to keep putting the gasoline in there and changing the oil ever so often, right? So our bodies are the same way.
we've got to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been working on, and I'm feeling so much better. I really am. Um, I'm just a believer in the fact that Dr. Jenny has some exceptional products that will help us, and I have been using the CBD for, I'm going to say, maybe certainly a couple months, if not more than that, at least, and it's made a difference. And it was even like I woke up with a headache. I think it was this morning. And I was talking to my mom, and I said, I woke up with a headache, and the first thing out of her mouth was, "Oh, I have some like Advil or ibuprofen." And of course, that was my always go-to was the ibuprofen, or Advil or Aleve or something like that. But now I said to myself, "Oh, well, hang on, now that's not so good." And the fact is, I think I've eaten enough ibuprofen in my lifetime for like 5 lifetimes, So that stuff's
Mm-hmm.
really bad, isn't it?
Advil and ibuprofen, NSAIDs in
It's the
general. Yeah,
chemicals. It's the
NSAIDs
chemicals,
are
right?
terrible for you. You're damaging your gut. Eventually, you're going to end up with ulcers. It's tearing up the lining of your stomach. It's messing with that intrinsic factor, that healthy mucus that your body produces that you need. It's not the answer. It's a band-aid for boo-boo. And a Tylenol, which is acetaminophen, causes heart issues in children. I mean, you want to give your child heart issues, give them some acetaminophen. Ibuprofen, the same thing. I mean, it's just so toxic. And if you have a headache, take CBD. Take high dose CBD as a cream, as an oral supplement, as a capsule. Capsules are going to take a little bit longer to work. So if you need something right away, I have customers that come in here because I'm right here on the main street, downtown Sarasota, and some of the business owners come here. Oh, I'm so stressed out, Dr. Jenny. It's like little Europe over here with all the business owners. It's amazing. They're French, they're Italian, they're Latvian. It's just cool. They're Greek,
Is it
but
the
they
oil?
out. Yep, and they come in and they'll buy 2 CBD rapid dissolving tablets, and their headache will go away or their migraine will go away.
It did for me the other day, and that's the story that I shared. And I
Hmm.
actually did have to boost it up because I'd taken 1 mil of the 66 milligram, and I then took the CBD 40 dissolving tablet after that, and that did kick the actual headache. I mean, immediately the pain, I was in less pain, but then the additional 40 with the straight CBD 40 tabs made all the difference in the universe, and got rid of my headache. And so it's like, I don't think I'll ever go back to ever again to use ibuprofen, um, because I've learned it's not so good for us at all. Um,
Yep,
I
right.
wanted to see.
Any
I
other
wanted to go to
questions?
Robert Brookers. I've got a what if question here for us in just a second, and we appreciate all the questions and all the interaction, folks. We really appreciate that. We hope that you're learning something here tonight too, as well. I ran a ticker across the bottom. You can go to our website, the LWN Foundation. We have some of the products. I don't have all of the products up there yet. We're working on getting that all worked out. We are trying to get all the products that we possibly can that can help you from a health and wellness standpoint, which includes the CBD products. But you can go to our website and check that out. If you're seeing something that you're not finding, let us know. We'll make arrangements to get it, and bear with us as we improve that store. But I wanted to talk about Robert Brooker's statement here about anxiety as human-made product. Once he was able to respond in a calm way to events considered stressful, the anxiety vanished.
Yep.
And I appreciate a statement like that because I think a lot of it is our thinking. I mean, certainly if we have a chemical imbalance, we need to deal with that. The only person that can tell you that is, yeah,
Hmm.
you're the one that can.
It gives you control. It puts you back in control as opposed to misfiring everywhere.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So that's what we need to do, is to take control of our health and our wellness. And what we do today to start taking care of our health and wellness is going to make a huge impact in tomorrow. And if we care about the people that we're around, which I'm sure that we do, maybe some of them we could do without. I'm just kidding. No, care about our family, our friends, and then we're going to take care of ourselves so that we become a better person for them as well. I'm going to just go somewhere here. I've got my what if question. So I'm going to ask this what if question of you, Dr. Jenny. So, well, no, not of Dr. Jenny, excuse me, my viewers. I want you to, we
We're
know
playing
what
a game.
well, Dr. Jenny, you can start us off. You can answer the question. Viewers, I want you to answer the question too. Put it in the comments. What if you reduce stress and anxiety? Dr. Jenny, how would that make a positive impact in your life? You're not. You're already. Well, we all have stress. You said that, so
Oh yeah, I have lots of stress. People ask me all the time, you have 4 children, you're running these businesses, you have a staff. How do you do it? How do you find time to work out? It's crazy. And cannabis has a lot to do with making me cool, calm, and collected. So,
Mhm.
and I need to be able to, find my center, be more centered. Lots of prayer, lots of meditation. I can't live without my Bible, number one. So all glory and honor to, our
Yes.
source, our maker, our God.
Yes.
And I praise him every day for cannabis. I praise him for B12 and progesterone, glutathione, all these wonderful chemicals that he has given us to be able to give us some relief, right?
Yes.
So yes, if without stress and anxiety, you're going to be more productive. You're going to be a better friend, a better spouse, a better companion, a better mom for me. You're going to be at your best. You're going to be you, but just better.
Yes, and it's a great feeling to be better and to be healthier and to start to get away and migrate away from the chemicals. And there's so many chemicals, and there's so much to know about health and wellness. We're focusing tonight on CBD, but join us every week. We do this at Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we're talking about different facets of healthcare. And Dr. Jenny shares with us just this awesome, it's great educational stuff, and that's part of what I really admire about you, Dr. Jenny, is that you care so much for your patients and to help people and to get them to become the best them they can be. Now I say it differently on my website. We want you to become the best you. And that's why,
Be reminds me of that song, "Be all that you can be." Do you remember that song?
yes, I think I do remember that song. I know that there's a couple audio files, I'm sure, listening that would remember that as well. Um,
Mhm.
and I am going to go to a couple more. Um, Richard Fay's just talking to us. He wants your products, but he thinks he can't have it over there in the UK. But they're working on it, I suppose.
Oh, I do. I ship to the UK all the time. I have a viewer right now. Her name is Catherine Ralston, and she and I are partners in a company. We've been kind of, because of COVID and everything, we've had a lot of transitioning. But M3 Life, and you can look it up. We make a CBD skincare line, and she's just a phenomenal entrepreneur. But her brother is in the UK, and I've shipped over there several times for her. We ship products over there
It's
to
not
the
got
UK.
the straight CBD does not have any THC in it. That's can't be, I think, illegal anywhere, could it? Really?
Hmm.
I mean, why would it be?
What?
Why would CBD be illegal anywhere in the world if it didn't have THC in it?
If it didn't have, well, it's again a stigma. You have big pharma out there. You got to remember, the United States government owns the patent for cannabis,
Right.
even though there's still lots of claims out there that say, oh, it has no medicinal properties, but yet they own the patents for the cannabis plant.
They're waiting.
Why? Why would they own the patents? And then you have
Sooner or later, they're going to do
that
something.
makes
I know.
$800 billion a year,
Hmm.
$800 billion a year on neuropsych medications.
I think I know where you're going with that now.
They don't want to give that up.
They don't, yeah, that's the old story. Well,
Mhm.
oh, we're
It is
really
so much
interested.
easier
We want.
to
I was just
to
gonna say we want to buy your company. You guys you're so great. This is technologically just so advanced. It's so great. We'll buy your company. They buy your company and do nothing with it, and it dies because, of course, that's not really what they wanted in the first place,
mhm,
is it?
right,
They
exactly.
had an
Well,
alternative plan. And at this point, I
Epidiolex
don't care
is a
whether
CBD
Facebook
product.
shuts this
Here's
broad.
what they're doing. Really, I
Yeah,
know we don't have that much time.
we
You
are
you
kind of running down.
yeah, you have Epidiolex that is a big pharmaceutical drug, and that is a synthetic version of CBD. So you can't get a patent on something that is naturally occurring in your body. Okay, that's like getting a patent on your eyeball. God already created it, you can't make it, right? So this is why big pharma, and we're going to talk about this. If my body winds up dead somewhere, I'm a happy person. Happy people don't kill themselves. I have to always say this because you hear about all these doctors disappearing because big pharma's targeting them, right? Because we're out there. This is a medical revolution. but
Right.
they bastardize every single chemical that is naturally occurring in our body. They genetically modify everything from B12 to vitamin C to now CBD, THC. It's very, very dangerous. And then you're going to have side effects from that. And people don't know the difference between bioidentical CBD versus synthetic CBD. The layperson, the consumer, doesn't know the difference between Premarin and bioidentical estrogen. Premarin is, my gosh, that's pregnant horse's urine. That's estrogen from a horse. It's urine. That's disgusting. Or, for example, pig thyroid, armor thyroid versus physiologic thyroid, or synthetic progesterone, not a progestin. They modify everything and get a big old patent for it. And then they're like, come and take our poison. And these synthetically altered chemicals causes free radical damage. This is why in those commercials you see side effect includes, abnormal butt bleeding, diarrhea, constipation, blood clots, aneurysms. Ask your doctor if taking this medication is right for you. I don't know why I did that with a British accent, but
that's okay. But don't take it if you're allergic to it. Now, if it's a brand new medicine, how would you even know that you're allergic, right?
Everyone's allergic to it. That's the thing. Everyone has a side effect with it because it doesn't belong in our body.
Interesting. See,
We're not
I wondered why they
those...
say that. It's like, come on, how could that possibly be? How would you even know? So you tried it, and then it was like too late. Sorry about your luck, right? Oh,
Right.
that's the death statistics page right here. Sorry, it won't work for everybody. No, okay, we got to stop that. But you know what? We'll never be stopped in what we're going to do.
But I hope people learned at least that. What's the end goal? What's the game that these big guerrilla companies are trying to do? I always say we should have a medical revolution. If we're going to protest peacefully, it's to demand better healthcare in this country.
Excellent point. We deserve better health care.
Yes.
We certainly do, and we can do it with natural products. That's what you do. Quickly, if you'll just address and you kind of did a minute ago, the difference between one product of CBD, and I know you touched a little bit over the show. What's the difference between different CBDs? They're not all the same.
They're not all created equal. When looking for a company, if you're not going to get it from Steven or myself, it's going to be the same right?
Thing.
Look for a company that is CGMP certified. So good manufacturing facility means it's regulated, that they're following actual standards, by the FDA, because the FDA does regulate natural products and it regulates all the synthetic products too. But you want to make sure it's regulated. There is some oversight. So if you're putting on there, if you see something that says non-GMO, 100% organic, make sure it's being regulated. And make sure that it comes with a certificate of an authenticity of analysis where that product has been tested for purity and potency. And if you're a regulated facility, that's going to be a requirement. And always ask. Don't be scared to ask for the certificate of analysis. You need that because that means it's free of heavy metals, free of fungus, of mold. The last thing you want to do is vape a product that could potentially give you a lung infection or from a bacterial infection in your lungs because you vaped some bacteria because they didn't know how to clean or process or make the product that you're trying to buy. And that's happened before. Lots of people get this aspergillus infection from vaping a product from a company that is making CBD or any cannabinoid products.
And so that's the point, is that your products are GMO certified. They are natural. It's not chemicals. It's not GMO. So in my mind, really, I think that they're the best products out there, the best available. And, If you have questions that we didn't get to, you want to reach out to us, please do. Just send us an email, send us a direct message, whatever you would like to do. Jenny, I'll let you go ahead and wrap up. I just want to remind everybody that we will be back next week. We're still celebrating Men's Health Awareness Month all month. Oh, I also got to say this. Okay, and I'm just going to do this. I got to do this before the end of the show here. I almost forgot that part. Now, you're running a special right now,
I
Dr.
am.
Jenny. Okay, so I'm going to pop this up. Watch it. It might cover us up, but here we go.
I'm so glad I have a media team. Yes, I did all that. I'm running my specials.
Yes, so you got a special. There's 20%
Father's
off
Day. That's right.
for
Dad's rock.
Father's Day. So, yeah, now is the time for Father's Day. We are talking about men's health. Fathers or wives, get your fathers some CBD to help them get healthy and to get rid of that stress and that anxiety. And then as a result, I'm learning from Dr. Jenny, that's going to improve your sex life. And who doesn't want that, right? Okay,
Yes.
go ahead, wrap us up, and it's all yours.
We love you. I love you. And I hope that you guys end every day with being satisfied with how you treated everybody that day. So feel, if you're going to accomplish anything in a day, feel accomplished by saying, okay, I did good today. I opened the door for an elderly lady, or I complimented a woman that looked stressed out, right? Not in a weird way. Don't compliment. Don't be the creeper guy, but just when you see strangers, acknowledge that, wow, this is a spirit. Smile when you're walking somewhere in a grocery store and you make eye contact. Give them a smile. A smile releases melatonin, and it is contagious. So how about that? How about making sure that you're setting smiling goals throughout your day? Turn the frown into a smile. I think I've seen those memes before. I can't help but smile. My gosh, I see my children and they smile all the time, and I'm like, ee! And we lose that as adults, right? So learn to smile and be nice. Have good intentions. Be kind to one another. And may God bless you for the rest of the week. And may He find favor, and may He keep you safe from all of the craziness on the planet.
Well said. Bless everybody. Thank you. Yeah, God bless everybody. Let's have a great week. Join us next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Ask Dr. Jenny. We'll be back again next week. We'll still be talking about your health and wellness, of course, and taking your questions. I'll be back tomorrow morning about 6:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for my Sunrise Daybreakers. We're going to welcome a brand new day. We're going to make a connection to nature, make a connection to source, and make a connection to the community. That community is you, and we love you, and we care about you. It's a great way to start a day. Thank you for joining us. Have a great week, and we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.
Bye.